how I made these little weapon racks. Pretty simple with toothpicks and popsicle sticks. You know, a little foam. That's what I use for the axes and spears. So real quick, this is a couple of things you probably would need or be useful. A comb that you could, you know, dispose of. Maybe some coffee stirrers, definitely popsicle sticks, cardboard just in case, and some foam. You know, paint brushes and some paint, and definitely some minis with weapons for size reference, which I didn't have minis before I made these. That's why this is a little oversized. So you see all these minis have weapons. I don't have much with shields. So and this little one I got in medieval times when I went there. They had a lot of these little minis. I bought a couple. So basically, it's a pretty simple build. I already had some of these popsicle sticks painted from this was from a wagon that I had built and my daughter destroyed it and I kept all the pieces. Just real quick, if you're wondering, if you're wondering how I made these walls, leave a comment. This was heavily inspired by Bard's Crafting. One of my first builds. But basically, let's get into it. The first thing I do is I score the popsicle stick or the foam that you're using for the build. So this is how I do it. I'm going to do one on camera and do the rest off camera real quick. These squiggly lines. Just be careful you don't cut your finger. Safety first, I think. I don't know if you can see that or not. So after scoring all the popsicles you're really going to need 5 per piece. 2 for the side. Let me show you. This is 1, 2 for the back, 3 for the bottom, and the 2 sides 1. So that's 2, 4, 5, and maybe 1 for the back. But anyway, after scoring them, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut them. I don't do much measuring here because it's not what I do. But now I try to make it a little to scale because I have minis. So the bottom piece is gonna be 2 inches, and the side pieces is gonna be 1.5 inches. So here I'm marking it with my nice little axe pen. Two inches to the bottom. Oh, gotta take the top off. Get another one. Inches to the bottom. Now what we're gonna do is crap, it's not mixed up. These ones that I marked already. Which I already did. So we mark this one. Let's mark it on the side that's not painted. That'll be smart. Okay. Now 1.5 inches for the top. and that should be good. Okay, let's do that again. Just a little over because of the cut. We're having another heat wave over here. Okay, a quick tip. Maybe it's better to score them after you cut them, because when you cut them, you compromise the popsicle stick and they tend to splinter. So maybe that'll be a good idea. Another good tip is to have something hard to, so you can press against it, some square, flat. There you go, that's our little structure. Another thing I do or I don't do, excuse me. So like I was saying, I got a phone call, excuse me. What I don't do is throw stuff away. These little bits from the popsicle stick, I could see this being a chair or a beginning of a chest, I just come up with a little bull crap like that. So here we go. We have the weapon racks ready. I'm pulling them together for scaling and you can see the difference. It's not exactly the same. I did this with toothpicks and I did this with coffee stirrers. And this here is a piece of foam instead of a popsicle stick. Because what I plan to do with this is a little bit different. I want to put once I make the swords, I want to put little stubs here so the swords can hang like this. If you get my drift. Like 2 little stubs here, 2 little stubs here, and it'll catch the handle, pommel, whatever it's called, of the sword. And here's just gonna be like this for the spears and things like that I make. I might do the same thing and put little things here, or just like I said, glue it so that this won't be happening with the spears. And maybe just leave one unglued, you know. But basically, that's so. I'm gonna take a little break because it's very, very hot, and I'm in the hottest. I craft in the kitchen because that's the only place I have a little table and some room to craft. But I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'm gonna start making the weapons and stuff. Like I said, I got these guys for reference, and I found this. It's a bunch of, I think these are Warhammer little pieces. I found a bunch of them. Not enough to make a little mini, but I found a bunch of arms, a bunch of guns, and some of this stuff I might cut off and use for the weapon rack. I like the mace and the axe. But basically, that's it. I'm gonna start the weapons. Paint these while I'm painting. They drying. I'll start working on the weapons. So apparently, I'm making one more weapon rack. Because one is going to be for these weapons up here specifically. One's going to be for the swords, and I'm going to have another one specifically, for bows and arrows. And this is a little assortment of the weapons I made. I have them like that because these rolls here, I specifically made them with foam, and this with toothpick and combs, you know, from a comb. And these I got from pieces of, I think, Warhammer. I found a few pieces with weapons and I cut them out because I like the mace and the axe. And this axe and the bow, I got it from these fantasy creatures that I had got a long time ago. I be crafting with them sometimes, the shield too. So this is the one that's going to be for the bows. So this is 2 inches and this is about 1.5 inches. It's going to look more or less like that. Little box. So foam my texture, real quick. I'm gonna go right here. I think I'm gonna put a little stick here. I might do 2 for the swords too, maybe. Alright, I'm gonna black baste it and try to get it to this color. I'm gonna give these a highlight. I'm gonna work on some more of the weapons, or at least show you some of the progress, because I didn't think I recorded the way I made any of these. This is just foam. Let me show you. I think this one came out pretty cool. These are all foam. Spear is foam and the little hammer, And like I said, these swords right here, I'm waiting for this to dry. These swords right here, I had this from a hobby store. This little anchor that I'm gonna use for something else too. And I glued this together and made a sword. And with the other, I glued it like that. I'll try to show you right now. This is baking soda. So I'm gonna put a little crazy glue right here real quick. And this is so it could dry fast and seal a little harder. Another trick I picked up from other hobbyists. And there's your sword. Just with a little base coat. And this is what it should look like when it's done. And check this out. Mm-hmm. So the scaling looks pretty good. little toothpick foam. Then you shape the foam into whatever you want, a spear, an axe, brick. With a little patience and imagination, you come out with a nice little weapon. You could Google for reference and get, you know, or use minis, you know, little paint, and this should look like a nice little addition to the weapon rack. This is the final result. The weapon racks. Got one for bows, one for swords, and one for axes and hammers. Dungeons and Chronics, thanks for watching. Get the crafting.